Between 2002 and 2005, one man dominated Monday Night Raw like no one else in WWE's history. Triple H. He held the World Heavyweight Championship for years, crushed every challenger, and stood at the top of the company. But to some fans, this wasn't dominance. It was the reason that new stars weren't being created. This is the story of Triple H's reign of terror. In 2001, WWE defeated WCW and ECW, becoming the only major wrestling company in America. But that victory created the problem. The Attitude Era was ending, Stone Cold was fading, The Rock was on his way to Hollywood. There was no competition anymore to bring the best out of everyone, and WWE needed a new top star. Enter Triple H. Fresh off a career-threatening quad injury which seen him miss the much-maligned Invasion angle, he returned in early 2002 to one of the biggest ovations of all time. He won the Royal Rumble, headlined WrestleMania 18, and won the Undisputed Championship. Triple H was a massive babyface champion until he lost the title only a month later to Hollywood Hulk Hogan at Backlash. He lingered around the title picture on SmackDown until he ended up moving to Monday Night Raw to reunite with his former D-Generation X stablemate and real-life best friend Shawn Michaels. This reunion was short-lived, however. Triple H pedigreed Shawn Michaels, but what looked like Shawn Michaels essentially pedigreed himself, turning Triple H heel in the process. It led to a feud between the two, culminating in Michaels' first match in 4 years, an unsanctioned street fight at SummerSlam in August 2002. Michaels would win, but not before Triple H would use his trusty sledgehammer to get revenge. Then came the moment that changed everything. As a result of the brand split, Brock Lesnar took the Undisputed Championship to SmackDown, leaving Raw without a top title. So in September 2002, Eric Bischoff reintroduced the Big Gold Belt famous from WC tactic, a heel general manager gifting the top heel a world championship without any reason, but it still started to leave a bad taste in fans' mouths. Triple H's first feud as champion was a rather infamous one with Kane. The two faced off with Triple H's World Heavyweight Championship along with Kane's Intercontinental Championship on the line. In the weeks preceding the match, Triple H claimed that several years earlier Kane had a girlfriend called Katie Vick. You can do the research yourself if you're not already aware of it, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. Elimination Chamber. He would eventually earn it back at Armageddon, beating Michaels in the 3 stages of Hell match. Soon after this, Triple H formed one of the most dominant factions in WWE history, Evolution. The past, present and future were all under Triple H's control, and from 2003 to 2004, Raw became the Triple H and Evolution show. Week after week, the formula stayed the same. Build the challenger up, make them look really dangerous and a credible threat, and then Triple H beats them. People who should have been stars, such as Booker T, Kane, Goldberg, Rob Van Dam, the list goes on. Probably the worst of these was the Booker T burial at WrestleMania 19. Booker T was absolutely red hot. The fans believed in him. The fans absolutely adored him, in fact. It was an underdog story that people could really get behind. There was a lot of racial undertones involved in the storyline, which you may have excused had Booker T actually won. But there was no comeuppance. Triple H hits the pedigree, waited nearly 30 seconds, and then pinned him clean. Many fans still call it one of the biggest travesties and missed opportunities the WWE's ever had. Goldberg arrived as an unstoppable force, but after months of back and forth, and Goldberg literally killing everyone inside the Elimination Chamber, Triple H beat him with help from the sledgehammer, and the order just dies. Goldberg would eventually win the World Heavyweight Championship and have a short reign, but there was nothing to write home about. There is an old saying about closing the stable door after the horse has already bolted. No one really cared by this point. Then there was the problem of Monday Night Raw. There was long promos, slow matches, predictable endings. It felt like every episode of Raw at that point started with the same formula. A Triple H town hall for the first 20 minutes, setting up a match where Triple H would end the show, normally standing tall. The fans didn't just dislike Triple H, they were getting tired of the entire product. SmackDown was seen as a far more viable alternative at that time, and a lot of people point to Triple H's reign of terror as a reason for that. Behind the scenes, things were just as controversial. Triple H had already been in a relationship with Stephanie McMahon and eventually married into the McMahon family. Some believe that he now had more influence than ever, shaping creative, deciding winners, usually himself, and controlling the spotlight. But others say that this is exaggerated, and Triple H was simply doing what other top stars have always done, and that's protect their position. During this period, many stars did struggle to break through. Booker T, RVD, Kane, Scott Steiner, Chris Jericho, people I've already discussed. Each one had momentum, and then they each ran into the same brick wall, Triple H. But on the flip side of this, the Reign of Terror didn't just destroy careers, it also helped build them. Chris Benoit won the 2004 Royal Rumble and challenged Triple H at WrestleMania 20. Shawn Michaels was still involved with the feud and was eventually inserted into a triple threat match. It led to a lot of fans worrying that Chris Benoit wouldn't get his crowning moment, but he did. He beat Triple H with a crippler crossface right in the middle of the ring at Madison Square Garden. Until the tragedies that happened 3 years later, it was one of the biggest underdog wins WWE had ever seen, and one of the best. Benoit would lose the title to Randy Orton, one of Triple H's stablemates in Evolution, and once it was time for Randy to do the honours, guess who beat him for the title? But despite being seen to bury Randy Orton, in many people's opinions, he also helped build the megastar that became Batista. Batista, who was seen as the future part of Evolution despite being actually older than Triple H, won the 2005 Royal Rumble. He'd eventually turn on Triple H and Ric Flair and challenge Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 21. And this would be Triple H's last culminating in a Vengeance pay-per-view, where Batista became the first man to pin Triple H inside the Hell in a Cell. For the first time in years, Triple H wasn't on top anymore. After Vengeance, Triple H took a 4-month hiatus. He returned in limbo but quickly re-established himself as a heel, turning on his former friend Ric Flair, attacking him with a sledgehammer and sparking a feud between the two. He eventually won a Road to WrestleMania tournament the following year, which granted him a chance for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 22 against John Cena. In a callback to the Chris Benoit match 2 years earlier, he lost to John Cena via submission with the STF. At the Backlash pay-per-view, he was in a triple threat match with Edge and John Cena, where he lost again. Angered by this, he used a sledgehammer to attack both men, and then performed a number of DX crotch chops, hinting at what was to come. A storyline involving Shawn Michaels' feud with Mr. McMahon and the Spirit Squad ended up with Triple H turning babyface for the first time since 2002, reforming D-Generation X, albeit a far more PG version of the product we were used to in 1998. The DX run was brought to an abrupt halt at New Year's Revolution 2007, when Triple H suffered another quadriceps tear, this time in his other leg. After 8 months on the sideline, he returned at SummerSlam to defeat King Booker in his return match. Not even 5 weeks later at No Mercy, Triple H challenged the newly named WWE Champion Randy Orton. Triple H won, winning his 11th World Championship in the process and his 6th WWE Championship. Triple H would stay in and around the title picture for the next couple of years, and even as his in-ring career started to wind down, Triple H couldn't help himself in 2016 by winning the Royal Rumble match for the vacant WWE World Heavyweight Championship, last eliminating Dean Ambrose with the crowd with nuclear behind. But the question is, was the Reign of Terror actually a real thing? You could say yes, because he dominated the title scene. It was very repetitive. Up-and-coming talent stalled. You could also argue not. WWE needed stability after losing a lot of its top stars. It helped to build future stars, and if there's one thing that a wrestling show needs, it's a strong central villain. The other question is, was Triple H saving the WWE, or was he saving himself? Who do you think got buried the worst out of Triple H's Reign of Terror? Was it overrated, or was it justified? Let me know in the comments below. Please like the video if you enjoyed. Think about subscribing if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.